Hello everybody and welcome to Games v Reality. Here are the biggest news of this week. Blade and Sorcery is going 1.0. Did I say the name right?
I think so.
Great. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is getting VR support. Apple has released VisionOS 2.0, which I feel like they skipped a few points, but they're at 2.0, a whole bunch of features. Now let's get into it.
Okay.
Hello everybody, I'm at Victor Grey on all the socials, and with me, as always, except for that one time...
I am at Lord Bidsteak.
Very good work. We're doing a video podcast
Yay!
now.
Woo! You can see us.
Yeah, we didn't want to do it, but YouTube's really good for discoverability. So this is the podcast where we'll talk about all of the VR news.
Totally.
Well, most of it.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I got a bunch of stories to talk about. Do you want to hear the rest of them?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. If you want to skip to anything or get a link, just look at the description because I've put time codes and links to everything we discuss in the description below.
Skip most of what we talked about this week.
Well, no, don't do that. Skip
Definitely
to
do.
rating 5 stars on what.
Oh yes, yeah, totally. Do that. Definitely do that.
So Apple announced VisionOS and a bunch of really great features coming on board. One of them is turning your 2D photos into 3D photos.
Yeah.
Also part of the Apple OS release is they're not allowing multi-monitor support, but now you can have an ultra-wide monitor that's equivalent to 2 4K screens side by side. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Oh, as part of all that 3D, 2D, 3D photo stuff, I want to talk to you about all the new 3D cameras that are being released.
Okay, yep. I like that.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Apple had, as part of their big speech, a whole rant about all the definitions of different 3D. Do you want to hear about it?
I don't, but you're going to tell me anyway, so that's fine.
Nah, well, if it's not in the video, it was so boring we cut it out.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
It was for you guys.
Do you know what's not boring, though?
No, I don't at this point.
Just Dance is coming to Quest.
That's terribly boring.
And there was a bunch of stuff I want to talk about from last week that you weren't here for, like Netflix on the Quest.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's what I'm doing in VR. Are you doing a thing in VR?
I am doing things in VR, multiple things.
Oh, we're going to talk about the things in VR.
Yeah,
Do you
lots
remember
of
the first story?
No.
Blade and Sorcery.
Oh,
Did I
yeah,
do the
that's
name?
great. No, you did the name. You didn't say blades and sorcery or
No, I was
swords
saying
and sorcery.
swords and
No,
sorcery.
you didn't say either of those things. So yes, you got it right.
This is on their Steam page. They say the end of an era is approaching. The Baron here, and I told you guys the next time you heard from me would be with a trailer and a release date. So here you go.
Nice.
1.0 full released. The end update is dropping June 17th, 2024.
What's the date? What's the date
It's
today?
June 16th.
Woo! Okay, so that
by
means
the time this gets posted on YouTube, it will be like late on the 16th in America.
okay.
Now,
Time
that's
zones.
important because when it drops, they're upping the price of Blade and Sorcery. It was $19.99 US. It's going to basically $30.
Okay.
So if you don't own it yet and you're watching this as it's released,
Quick.
buy it.
Buy it now. Buy it while it's in early access.
But I think almost everybody owns Blade and Sorcery.
Yes.
I can tell you that because I saw a...
Sorry, hang on. Do you own Blade and Sorcery?
I don't know. I can't remember. I swear
You
I
don't
bought
own
it.
Blade and Sorcery.
I think I do. I have to check.
Okay, all right.
I bought it way back at the Vive days.
Sure.
So I don't know if I own it or not. But I saw a post from 2 years ago on Reddit. They basically collated all of the reviews to figure out what are the most popular VR games.
Yep.
And Blade and Sorcery was number 4 on that list.
I'm not
Number
surprised.
1 was Alex at the time.
Okay, all right. That's
So
pretty
I
interesting.
reckon Blade and Sorcery has fared better than Alex over time.
Totally, especially considering it started as a like an early access title that had like a lot of jank. The fact that grabbed people that early and then managed to last this long, and still be as popular, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
When the update drops on June 17, the game price will increase from $19.99 to $29.99, marking the end of the early access period.
Wow.
That's the biggest news.
Totally.
We should have led with this.
Yeah, totally.
Steam early access game stops being early access.
Yeah, that's like the biggest news ever. How many games do you know have left early access on Steam at this point? Let's narrow this down. How many VR games do you know that have left early access on Steam?
Onward?
Onward's still in early access. Pavlov, which has already reached the PSVR 2, that's still in early access on Steam.
Wild.
Yeah, crazy.
So, Onward, that studio got sold and bought by Meta, right?
Yes.
So they
yes.
sold the entire studio before
Totally.
they released the game.
Totally. Well, and yeah, they're still not out. something like that.
I think there's a crazy amount of goodwill for Blade and Sorcery, right?
Yes, there's goodwill from me. I really like it.
You're excited, but also you're not looking forward. You want the 1.1?
No, well, every time an update comes out, all the mods break, and this is one of those games where it's like it's not built on the back of mods. You can play the game without the mods, and it's a perfectly fine game. And in fact, I think this update is bringing the full iteration of their single player mode, the dungeon crawler thing. It's a procedural dungeon thing where it's called Crystal Hunt. I think that's the big feature that's coming out as a part of this. I don't know the details in particular, but I think you do like a run through their procedural dungeon. And you can get like a crystal that you can then put in your little home environment, and then the more that you go through, the more crystals you accumulate, and that might correlate with powers, maybe. I say this with no education on it because I only play the Star Wars mod, the Outer Rim mod, which is fantastic. But it's got none of those vanilla features in it. So,
do you know what game is all vanilla but people like it anyway? I'm trying to segue, okay?
I thought you were trying to tee me up for a joke, and I don't know what to make. There's a vanilla thing, so it's okay. All right, no, okay.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
Oh, great, excellent. So good. They just released the last one.
Yeah, he got real sad when I told him 2024 was coming out because he's like, but they just released the last one 2 years ago.
I feel like
it was 4 years ago.
Yeah, totally. It
was in 2020.
It blew past. Yeah. It blew past. Did you play that? Did you play the last one?
It was on my list. It was even on Xbox Game Pass. I could have played it any time, and I never did.
This guy never plays any games. That's what you're learning in this podcast.
But no, I never did.
Yeah.
You have?
I have. I downloaded all 7,000 gigabytes of it, and it was great.
It's equivalent to 1/4 of Call of Duty, which
totally,
is huge.
Totally,
That's bigger than any game should be.
Yeah. But it was good. I liked the VR mode in it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Isn't it funny that Call of Duty can be like 6 levels of a campaign that lasts about an hour, and then multiplayer maps, like 6 maps.
Yeah.
And it's bigger than the entire world.
Yes. Yeah, literally the entire world that they managed to fit into Flight Simulator. Yeah. That's a really good point. Never thought of that.
It's the only game that I think is justified being that big.
Totally. It's all those uncompressed textures that they're streaming in.
But as part of the announcement for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Xbox Game Showcase, they announced that it will be getting VR support, and apparently the headline I'm getting from Mixed VR is it's spectacular in VR.
Great. That tells me a lot. I'm so glad that I know that it's spectacular.
Yeah.
Cool.
Isn't it good to see a very popular game that was in VR get a sequel that's in VR?
Yeah.
Do you know what else was released that was a super popular VR game that's getting a sequel?
No.
Do you remember PlayStation's The Playroom? And it used the new fancy controller, and it was like an arcadey...
Oh, I had like a little robot on the front of it?
Yeah. Everybody loved that game. It was on PSVR. Everybody thought it was cool. Well, Astrobot.
Astro Boy?
Astrobot
okay.
is the sequel to The Playroom, and it's called Astrobot because it features that robot.
That guy. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. It's not in VR, though.
What?
Yeah.
So it's a sequel to the VR thing that's not in VR?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because everybody loved the Astrobot and they thought the controller stuff was cool.
Yeah, but then it just never used it.
Not getting VR support.
Interesting.
So Road to VR has the story. Astrobot developer says, don't hold out hope for VR port. Astrobot Rescue Mission 2018 is one of the most popular PSVR exclusives to date. However, Sony-owned developers Team Asobi are releasing it as its widely hyped PS5 follow-up, Astrobot, without the addition of VR support. They say, don't hold out hope for VR support either, as the studio has now confirmed it's simply not on the cards.
Well,
it's in the cards?
That doesn't... cards are not a part of this. There's no card game as a part of this release. So, this happens all the fucking time. Yeah. Right? Everspace 2, no VR support. Everspace 1 had it. Tomb Raider, what?
Tomb Raider had VR support.
It's not VR support. Most of those did.
Yeah.
And so I think two of those had it. Was compatible with VR.
Well, they said we're focusing 100% on PS5.
Great.
Rescue Mission was great fun to make. Every medium has its strong points. In this case, third-person game. Whether you work on TV or VR, it's radically different.
I wonder if this is a thing where they don't want to confuse the branding of it. It's like, yeah, they could just turn the VR switch on and make it compatible with VR, but that means that they have to promote a VR version of this thing and then say that it's compatible with VR, and they don't want people to think that this is an exclusive VR title. They want to push it as something else. Yeah, totally. I think VR muddies the waters every time there's an announcement. They probably just want to avoid it.
Why can't I just have a little logo saying compatible with PSVR 2?
You fucking tell me, bro, because I don't understand. If you can make it work with VR, like, why not do it? Sorry?
Are we fighting now?
I'm always fighting with you at some level. I don't know if that comes through, but yeah. Why not put it on?
I don't know. Anyway, there you go. It's coming. It looks like a great game. Like it'll be great for everyone who plays it. But why is it not a VR game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a whole bunch of new features coming to VisionOS 2. Do you know any of them?
No, I don't. OS 2 of what?
Oh, VisionOS.
VisionOS 2. Great.
For the Apple.
For the Apple.
Okay, so the Apple came out, like 6 months ago?
Even? Yeah, it feels like such a long time ago now because of how many announcements have come out since.
Yeah, so in 2 weeks, I think you can buy it in China.
Great, excellent.
And in 2 weeks, I actually got the email from Apple saying, hey, you could pre-book in 2 weeks' time.
I thought you got the email that it's like going on sale in China. Hey, guys.
No, it said you can pre-order, and then so early early July, you can actually buy the Vision Pro, or whatever it's called, here in Australia.
Great, excellent. So it wasn't on sale here?
No, only in America.
Oh, okay, great, excellent.
And as part of that, they also released VisionOS 2, even though this should probably just be called Vision 1.5. Oh, he's having an aneurysm. What's happening? Okay, let's just give him a moment.
Magic AR future glasses released in Australia before the fucking Valve Index. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
We still haven't got the index. Gabe, Gabe, give us the index.
Okay, so everyone that isn't aware, the Valve Index has been on sale for like 5 years.
Yeah, I guess.
It's been longer than we realise. And it's still not available for retail in Australia.
No,
you have to get it.
I got mine on eBay. But yeah, if you wanna buy the Index, you got to plead with Gabe, tell him that you're a developer, and maybe you'll get like a dev kit, or you buy it on eBay like me. But instead, you don't have to. You can buy an AVP and use their new features on the OS 2.0.
Do you want to hear about the features?
I do. Please sell me on this.
Can I tell you my favourite feature?
You tell me.
Okay. You ready for this?
No.
No, you gotta
tell me. I want to look up when the Valve Index came out. It came out in 2019. Okay, so it wasn't that long ago.
It's been 5 years.
Wasn't that long ago.
Okay, this is my feature. Are you watching?
Yes.
Are you watching?
Yes.
You just are saying yes like you're not watching.
I'm watching you.
Okay, all right. You ready? Hey, here it comes. This is it.
Sorry, can you do that again?
I got to do it the other way. No, it's like this. It's like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So what they do? Did they have it here? I don't think they have it here.
I think they just banned that symbol in Victoria, and they're like the last.
Okay, so you know how you with Quest 2, if you do this and you pinch, you can get your menu up.
Yep.
So you do this, and it brings up the option to do your menu, and then you flick your wrist forward, and it will bring up a little volume and brightness and settings tab, and then you can change your thing.
But when can I do?
It's like a little wristwatch. So imagine you're in VR and you go, and you're like, okay, cool.
Sure.
Imagine if Quest had a little notification tab. You just do that. That's it. Look.
She pinched.
She does that, and then she does that, and now she's got the time and brightness and volume and stuff.
Okay. You've seen that video of the Italian guy that can't help but talk with his hands every time he like says a sentence. You're gonna be turning your brightness up and down accidentally, constantly, just by expressing yourself. You're gonna be eating a potato chip. You're gonna go, "Oh, potato chip," and then it's gonna like turn things on and off.
You're like, "That's exactly what I was saying."
Yeah. What the? Yeah. My question is, when Tony Stark builds his shit, right? He does that thing where he grabs it and he goes, "Whee!" Right, and like it goes like maximized. Yeah. I want that to like bring up like full screen. So is that in the release?
Cool if you just went
like that. Yeah, that's right. But the tracking's probably too far away for it. Yeah.
The Photos app will now take 2D photos and turn them into 3D.
Great.
Which is kind of cool.
All your
virtual display upgrades. So maybe I should get up their actual release. What they said was, we're not giving you multi-monitor support. Everyone wants multi-monitor.
Is that how they said it? They're like, we're not giving this to you.
Pretty much. They're like, it's not happening. I don't know the science of this, but apparently multi-monitor support's really hard to do. Mm-hmm. But what they're doing instead is you can now get your monitor. It'll be larger than. It's not a mirror of your computer's monitor.
Okay.
it's like a larger version of it, and you can have a wide or extra wide, so landscape. And they say that will be the equivalent of just having two 4K monitors side by side.
Great.
So it's basically multi-monitor support, but one contiguous monitor.
That says a lot about the target audience for this thing. It's like, hey guys, you know how when you have your two 4K monitors set up? Well, here's this.
Yeah.
I don't have 2K, two 4K monitors.
Anyone that has a Mac can't afford two of their 4K monitors.
No, that's right.
That would be cheap. It actually is cheaper to go to Apple Vision Pro.
Probably. You know what? That's the selling point. If it's too prohibitively expensive to get more monitors for your Mac, just get a Mac Pro that you can strap to your face. And
the immersive backgrounds are getting an improvement. I don't really care about this except to say when the Apple came out, so it's just an environment when you turn on your Apple.
Yeah.
When it came out, there were two coming soon environments.
Okay.
And with this OS, they've released one of them.
What's that?
It's just a beach. But apparently it takes months and months of development to release. It's a photo of a beach.
It's just so it's not even like a 3D environment. It's just a photo.
It's a VR 360.
Oh my god.
That's it.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, because they're all Apple users and they've drunk the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
They're like, wow.
Wow, guys, it's the Apple beach. It's not just the beach. Yeah. It's an Apple beach.
They've also added a feature that Quest does with select keyboards, and that's your keyboard is visible through immersive backgrounds, so it'll track where your keyboard is and then cut it out. So I'll show you that. That's the basic idea there.
Okay. This it looks like garbage. All of this.
I mean, no, that's handy because if you're in a thing, you can see your keyboard and you can type.
Yeah. So you can physically. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at getting one, but like the cheapest one I can find is the MX Mini, and it's like $200.
Keyboard? What?
Keyboard. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
I really like the idea, but gosh, it's expensive.
Yeah.
They're adding support for third-party mice.
Okay.
And then a whole bunch of other stuff. You can watch I'll read it. Watch multiple sports games in Apple TV. So you can open up your Apple TV and have several games going, kind of like Back to the Future Part 2 style.
Okay.
A whole bunch
going
up. And then personas look better. And, look to dictate message is cool.
Look to dictate message.
So look to dictate is a convenient part of Safari where you just look at the microphone icon in the URL bar and it prompts you for voice input. So you just look at it and go, YouTube.
Wait, so
weird furry
hang on. So you accidentally look at the mic button, right? And you go, oh fuck, I looked at the mic button. Look away, because it's immediately going to start recording you and then dictating whatever's happening in the background.
Oh, I hate that. When I use it, I'll always be like driving or something, and I'll be like, take me to the nearest place to do this. But the person in the passenger seat is talking to me the whole time, and they're just adding to the voice to text.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of other stuff.
None of that makes me even remotely excited.
Well, this is why are they calling it Apple Vision?
Totally, totally. It's like patch notes for 1.1, right? Yeah.
Anyway, let them do what they want to do. Apple also, during their announcement, during their big long video, they talked about the different standards of 3D. I'm not going to go into this in big detail, but it leads into the next three products I want to talk about.
Are they Apple products?
No.
Oh, thank Christ.
Well, one is kind of.
All right, we're almost there.
Yeah. So somebody up on Reddit has a link to it, and they've also cut it. They've typed it up to make it simple.
Yeah.
So Apple Immersive on r/Apple Immersive Video.
Yep.
User 70MR-6.
Great. Okay.
In one of the developer videos released on YouTube today, Apple distinguishes between three video types on Vision Pro. Cool. 1, 3D video, like the 3D movies offered by Apple TV on Disney+. 2, spatial video, can be captured on 15 Pro and Vision Pro.
Yep.
Also renders on flat screen, but has an immersive playback button. So that's a codec where if you look at it on your phone, it just looks like a regular video, but if you open it in your Vision Pro, it's 3D.
Cool. Oh, you know what platform also uses that? Our sponsor for this week, Pornhub.
3, immersive video, high-end professional content shot on stereoscopic 8K 180 degrees.
Yep.
So for them, 360 VR is not a format, but 180 VR is a format.
Great.
Blackmagic announced a new camera.
Yep.
Do you want me to? I'll show you it real quick.
Okay.
It looks kind of cute. It kind of looks like
It's like Wall-E.
WALL-E, yeah. WALL-E.
Yeah, totally.
I was gonna say, what's that circuit? What's that robot from the 80s. It's like...
I'm not that old, so...
There's an American... I've never seen it, but there's a rap scene in it.
Man, that sounds great.
It's like every movie, for some reason...
It's like white rap from the 80s?
Yeah, white rap.
Okay, great,
yeah,
great.
The best kind.
Awesome.
All right, okay. Blackmagic announced a new camera yesterday that it says is part of a new Vision Pro specific workflow that involves its DaVinci Resolve software.
Yeah.
Called the Ursa Cine Immersive. They say this camera that's built on the Ursa Cine platform will let cinematographers shoot 90 frames per second video in stereoscopic 3D for the Vision Pro.
You can't just skim over that. But how many dumb names do we have on this platform? What's that called again?
The name of the camera?
The Ursa Cine?
Ursa Cine Immersive.
Great. Just call it the Ursa Cine. Do you need immersive at the end of that?
The Blackmagic's a brand.
Okay.
Ursa's the range of cameras.
Yep.
The Cine is the specific camera.
Yep.
And the Immersive is the 3D port for that camera. So there is already a Blackmagic Ursa Cine camera.
Okay.
And this is the immersive version.
Okay, it's just none of that comes across when you say it to just anyone that doesn't follow this shit.
That's fair. But 90 frames per second 3D, that's pretty cool.
The cool thing about that image is that when you combine that with those dumb fucking glasses that we saw the other week that looked like the Willy Wonka ones, can you imagine the camera operator having those on and then this is the camera that he's using? It looks like a Tim Burton invention by itself, so yeah.
Did you ever watch The Hobbit in the 60 frame 3D?
Oh no, I heard it was terrible.
I did.
Did you?
I watched part 1 and I never watched another Hobbit movie again.
Yeah.
But what happened when you get to a high frame rate with 3D is it made everyone look like miniatures and stuff.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It really did make it look real.
Yeah.
That it kind of made it so if you had them framed certain ways, it would make it look worse.
Sure.
But I think that turned a lot of people off. But I think if you now know, with that known, if you did it differently, it might look cool.
Well,
high frame rate made it look so real that when they were miniature, it was uncanny to the brain. And it made it look bad.
You have world scale settings now for a lot of VR stuff, at least on a developer level. So, like, if you can account for that, I don't know, maybe you can tailor the experience to that.
I love going into a game and making the world scale real small.
Very
and
strange.
Making it a dollhouse. I love it.
Totally,
it's
but
so
like
cool.
doing it with like literally like you don't zoom out or anything like that. You just change the world scale, and it's like something's changing in my vision, but I don't know what's changing, and
like,
it like compresses the scale between things.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everything looks like real far away. It's like a magic trick.
Is it just moving the cameras like that?
I don't fucking know. It's doing some weird magic shit. It's black magic shit.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's like it's not. That's not really related.
Canon's releasing a new lens. It's for one of their cameras.
Can we talk about VR games?
This is VR.
This is VR.
This is VR.
It's a recording video.
This is the reality part of games versus
no one wants
reality.
that. When people want games.
This is VR.
It's games v reality. The name of the podcast is Games v Reality.
This is what we talk about, all of it.
All right. Okay, what does it do?
It's just a VR 180 lens.
Yeah, it's cool.
Which I hate.
Yeah, awesome.
But it's great it exists. I thought about buying one, but it's not compatible with any of the cameras I got.
And what's the bet that it's not compatible with literally any VR hardware in the next 10 years anyway? It'll just get we dropped compatibility for this $4,000 thing.
But I will say this is the second lens in this line, and that is a great sign.
Sure.
Just Dance is coming to Quest 2, 3, and Pro.
Cool. That's a game. That's a game release, a VR game.
This was a Pico exclusive.
Okay.
Pico doesn't sell headsets in America.
Yep.
And they're kind of more like you buy the Pico so you can have 8 of them in your XR. They're more like for people to experience VR. They're kind of.
You're going to say there's a museum.
They're enterprise headsets.
Oh, I see.
They're for how you go to a place to do VR shooting stuff.
Yeah. But it's a Quest competitor, right? It's like a standalone headset that's got controllers and all this shit.
They are a standalone VR headset. I wouldn't call them a competitor. I think they're just occupying a slightly different space.
I looked up if Contractors VR was actually available on standalone Pico, and I think it is. I'm pretty sure. So they do have a Pico store with games that you might see on, say, the Quest store.
They never entered the American market. I think they're owned by China.
So they're not in America. That's really interesting.
They're owned by China.
Okay, so I wonder if we have them. Do we have them?
I think they're owned by China.
Oh, yeah, well, but China can sell stuff to us. We've got Huawei phones. No.
That's owned by China.
Okay, I guess. Okay, fine. No, I know. Yeah, okay.
You can't buy Huawei anymore. I used to have a Huawei. I love my Huawei. People would be like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "It's a Huawei." I love my Huawei.
Can you? We're gonna get cancelled if you keep saying that word.
No, I love my Huawei.
Oh my. Stop saying it. He makes eye
They'd
contact
be like,
every
"What's
time.
that?" I'd be like, "It's a Huawei."
right,
and they'd be
all
like,
right,
"No
so-
way, Huawei." And I'd be like, "Yes, my Huawei." I loved my Huawei. No, I had 2 Huaweis, and I loved them both. But I had a Huawei right up until it was taken off Android, and then I was like,
okay,
no Play
right.
Store, no Play.
Okay, so we can't buy them here.
Nah, you can get them here in Australia.
I'm so confused. I don't. If you get any information out of this podcast, please message us at gamesvreality@pod.com. What pod at gmail.com? I don't know.
Just Dance is coming to Quest 2, 3, and the Pro. I'm
Cool.
glad it's coming to the Quest 2.
Beat Saber is one of the most popular VR games out there, and rhythm games have become like a real big thing over the last couple of years just with the platform. They sell better than most like shooters that you and I will play. So I'm totally happy for this to hit the platform if it means it will sell more units.
I have one last trailer to show you, and I don't know if you've seen this. I'm going to turn the volume up for this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Is this another dancing game?
As I said,
SlapFighter? SlapFighter?
SlapFighter.
All right, yeah, so all I'm thinking of is that you see the Russians playing it all the time where they just slap the shit out of each other and is that what this game is?
Yeah.
It's great. It's got that Street Fighter edge to it.
I like how confused you were, and you were real off put by this game, and you weren't on board, and then you saw the title, and you did a complete 180.
Dead set. They could have just showed the fucking title at the end. I would have been fine. It does not need 18 seconds of people like turning to look at me like real slowly and be like, "Hey, look at the hand. The hand could mean anything."
I kind of lied to you because I didn't show you the name, but everyone else sees SlapFighter character showcase, and you're like, "Yes, please show me what that is."
Sure. So they got the benefit of the doubt.
That's all of my news. Do you have any news?
I do. Oh, no, I don't have any news. Oh, yeah, hang on. I do have news.
Do you have news?
I think I do have news. There was a whole heap of shit that was announced this week, but it was like for pancake games or flat screen games.
Yes, Xbox Showcase.
Every time one of these comes out, please look out for Unreal Engine games so you can see a new VR diamond in the rough that might come out. I'm personally a huge fan of the Metal Gear franchise and Metal Gear Solid Delta. Snake Eater, it's a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3, but it's being made in the Unreal Engine 5. So I'm super keen to at least get that happening with the Unreal Engine injector.
Yes. So basically, any game in Unreal Engine 5 has the possibility to get a great VR mod. It's not guaranteed.
No.
But
it's not guaranteed out of the box, at least.
Keep your eyes out.
That's right. So I think, Metal Gear Solid Delta and State of Decay 3 was announced. And State of Decay 1 and 2 work in VR. They don't work with the motion controls out the box, but you can at least project it in VR and look at that. So that's great.
Should we go on to the next segment?
I think so.
It's what I'm doing a thing in VR, and you're doing a thing in VR.
I'd like that segment.
Are you doing a thing in VR?
I am doing a thing in VR.
What thing in VR are you doing?
I was very sick this week, and I was in bed playing Resident Evil. Yeah. I played Resident Evil 3. It's on sale right now for like $15 AUD. And there is a
remake.
The remake, yes. No, I'm not playing the OG. That's very old. I'm not a purist for Resident Evil. I never played the originals. So, but I have played, 7, 8, 2, and now 3, in VR. So
they're all pretty VR-ifiable.
They are.
Except for you said the very last bit.
Oh, yeah. Look, they work pretty good, but, like, if you're trying to play this from start to finish, you're probably going to run into a couple of issues where, like, I don't know, like a segment doesn't work. So, yeah, the end of Resident Evil 8, I think, like, just 10 minutes before the end, a little icon that allowed you to travel down a ladder just never showed up. So I was unable to progress in the game at all, unless I were to go into...
Did you finish on desktop, or...?
No, I didn't. I just could not be fucked to get up and go and uninstall the VR mod and then play it in Pancake, get past that section, go back into VR and then do it, especially when I could probably just watch the end of it. So I to this day don't know what happens at the end of the game. Also, at the end of Resident Evil 3, which plays fantastically as a VR game, by the way, the very, very end has, like, spoiler, I guess, a character's pointing a gun at another character and they're like, shoot that guy. And as that happens...
No, I'm the real one.
That's right. I think what happens is, I haven't played it in Pancake, but I think it goes into a first-person mode. And you're holding up the gun like this, and by them changing the camera, the way that the crosshair interacts is completely different, and therefore it's not registering anything. But I didn't know that, so I'm like, it gives you maybe a couple of seconds to shoot this guy, and if you miss him, there's a cutscene where that character then kills you, and then a game over screen comes up, and then it reloads you at a point that's maybe 2 minutes prior to that.
In a constant loop.
Yes, but it was a loop that I couldn't confirm whether or not I could win until like 2 minutes into that loop.
Troubleshoot because it would take 2 minutes to get to
That's
it.
right.
And so like
that's right.
every
that's
trip
right.
was
So I did it
2.5 minutes.
I did it 10 times, and it was like, it was at night. It was like very, very late at night. I couldn't go to the computer to figure it out. I had a dog on me at the time that was like sleeping on me.
Sometimes when you're playing a game, it's not fun at all, but you keep doing it.
Yes. It's like something, and honestly, it speaks to the patience that you need to be able to play these things in VR. Honestly, but it was a fantastic experience every other step of the way.
Okay, RE3 except for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. Do that. My hope is in future I can just review an Unreal Engine injector game every week and hopefully get that in.
Because it's pretty cheap to get Unreal Engine games that are compatible with the mod. Like
That's
under
right.
$20 Australian, which is like under 15 or $10.
Totally. This month's free game on the Epic Games Store is Redout 2. That's an Unreal Engine game. So like I've heard it works for some people. So just jump in and have a look. It's a very free experience.
Did RE3, was that the game you said you were like, man, I wish this had dual wielding?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. It had like this I picked up a gun and it was like kind of offset in a way that I was like, oh man, I don't really like using this. I wish it had two-handed aiming. And then like I reached out and grabbed just kind of instinctually, and it already has it implemented, which was fantastic. Yeah.
What a nice surprise.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, but yeah, highly recommend.
Netflix is now supported by Quest in the browser.
Nice.
So I thought I would give it a crack.
Cool.
I watched Damsel. Have you seen Damsel?
I have not seen Damsel.
It's a bit of a banger.
I've heard it wasn't very good.
Feels very good.
I heard it wasn't very good.
Oh, no, I think it's a bit of a banger. It's, it's like it's a broad movie. It's for everybody. So it's not like peak cinema.
Sure.
But it's good. It's like fairy tale times, dragons and stuff. So it's like entertaining.
Okay.
She's quite smart, but not unrealistically
Sounds like
smart.
the plot of Shrek.
Yeah, it's Shrek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with no Shrek.
Right?
Yeah. Dragon, marriage,
There's
expectation.
one guy that's a little bit Shrekish.
Okay. All right, well, that's cool. Is there any like Smash Mouth stuff going on?
The dragon, in horror movies where they kill the bad guy and then they're like, we did it, and they turn away from the body and they're like, I'm so relieved.
Yep.
And then the bad guy stands up again and it's like an extra little 30 seconds of bad guy. That happens in this movie, and the dragon says, it's not ogre till it's ogre.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening.
Well, that's the end of the podcast. Hey, if people have anything to say or they want to correct us because we said something wrong, where should they go?
gamesvrealitypod@gmail.com.
Or just go to YouTube and
write in the comments. Tell us when we're wrong, please.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
So please leave us a comment. Tell us how excited you are for Just Dance.
Tell us whether or not you want to hear more AR news versus VR news. Are you excited by all these new names that came out of Apple? Do you give a shit? Because I don't fucking care. Please tell me so I can steer this back to games every week.
I think we get rid of the games. Just call it V-reality.
No, that's a reality, and it's not a reality I want to be in.
Well, we can wave now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.